to this was strong, and I had to force myself to use my training and force calm on the situation.
Flight 1549 will hit the ground in less than 2 minutes. Captain Sullenberger decides. LaGuardia is too far. Teterboro is too far. As he looks ahead, he can see one final option.
Cactus 1529, turn right 280, you can land runway 1 at Teterboro.
We can't do it.
Okay, which runway would you like at Teterboro?
We're going to be in the Hudson.
I'm sorry, say again, Cactus?
As this radar image shows, other passenger airliners are in the area. Eagle Flight 4718 is listening in and responds.
I think he said he was going in the Hudson.
In an interview later, Captain Sullenberger describes his decision with extraordinary calmness.
The only viable alternative, the only level, smooth place sufficiently large to land an airliner was the river.
This has the potential to be catastrophic. To set himself up for an unplanned water landing is unprecedented. Nobody would have been thinking about that.
Forced landings on water usually end in disaster. In 1996, an Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 767 cartwheeled on landing after ditching in the Indian Ocean at the end of a bungled hijack attempt. 125 of the 175 people on board died. In New York, people are becoming aware of the jet's rapid descent.
124 was emergency. Plane went down in New Jersey.
Operator 219.
Yeah, I'm witnessing the airplane is going down. It's off fire.
Where?
I'm in the Bronx. Oh my God.
Was it a large or small plane or what?
A big jet. And I'm telling you, this plane was way too low. The jet was so fucking low.
The captain has had no time to tell the passengers what he is attempting, but they know they are going down.
I remember the gentleman sitting in 1A grabbing my arm and saying, "We're going to die, aren't we? We're going to die."
I'm thinking to myself, this cannot be happening. This cannot be real. This, you know, it was like a bad dream.
Ditching in the Hudson is Flight 1549's last chance. But standing in the way is a 600-foot-high obstacle.
I believe Captain Sullenberger had a number of significant obstacles, not the least of which was the George Washington Bridge. He had no options. That's what he had to work with.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Real-time radar mapping shows the jet approaching the bridge's eastern end at a height of 1,500 feet.
Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
He clears it with just a few hundred feet to spare.
The George Washington Bridge was not something that he had planned for on that approach, I can assure you of that.
Emergency electrical power manual on.
Whether or not he factored in the bridge, Captain Sullenberger navigates around it with extraordinary skill and makes a turn to line up over the Hudson. Below 500 feet, air traffic control may lose contact with the plane, but they need to know where it will come down. They divert a helicopter, which was taking tourists on a sightseeing tour, to track the jet's movements.
Okay, listen, we're going to tell you something important. It's Cactus 1549. We see somebody low level in the Hudson River.
The young lady sitting next to me said, "We're going to crash, aren't we?" I said, "Yeah, I think we're going to."
I remember looking at the skyline of New York City and just, looking at it, and I knew we were below the buildings.
Man, we could hit a building. I don't want to hit a building because it's going to be like 9/11 again.
2 Tango Alpha, it looks like there's maybe an incident here.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
We got a target on him, but he looks like he's low level. Okay. Okay? All right.
500 feet from impact, Captain Sullenberger makes the announcement no air passenger wants to hear.
The pilot came on and he said, "This is the captain speaking, brace for impact."
I and a lot of others thought, this is it.
It was eerie that the flight attendants in unison kept saying, "Brace, brace, brace." And then it was a silence for a second. And then they said, "Brace, brace, brace." And it was very eerie. It was one of those moments that was out of an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
We're crashing. What are you going to do? I kept thinking, okay, do I pray or do I send my wife a message? Do I call her? What do I do? So I quickly typed out a text. And I said, plane's on fire and I love you and the girls. And I hit send. And I remember looking at the phone and seeing the indicator light that the message got out. And I just kind of felt a sense of relief at that point that, I got a chance to say goodbye.
Life goes by instantly. It's like, will I see this person? Will I ever talk to this person again? If this was the end, was I the person that I really wanted to be all my life? I was not ready to die yet. I have too many things to do.
The possibility of not surviving was not a thought in my mind, but neither was the thought of living. It was just a peace that was over me, and I was ready to accept whatever was going to happen.
Two Tango Alpha, is he still flying?
Still flying.
I reached over and held the hand of the lady next to me and prepared to be a dead man.
Going down.
2 Tango Alpha, roger.
At 3:30 p.m., music industry executive Neil Lasher is in his 27th floor home overlooking the Hudson.
I'm looking out my window and I see a passenger jet coming right past the window, and it wasn't heading up and it wasn't heading straight, it was heading down. Oh my God, something's going on here. It was unbelievable.
I had no idea when the impact was going to come or how much time I would have. I didn't expect there to be anything after.
It was just this tense waiting. When are we going to hit?
That is going down.
Roger.
It was a hard hit. Absolutely the hardest landing I've ever been in.
We hit the water, and you could feel a definite jarring.
My knee hit my sternum and actually cracked my sternum. But it was just a jerking motion, and then it was just slowing down, and the plane actually groaned. You know, it was. Whoa.
In the water.
Roger.
I thought it was going to break apart. I thought it was going to blow up. I had no idea.
Calls to 911 pour in from all over the city.
911 operator wants to know about the emergency. A plane just crashed into the Hudson River. Okay, just passed. It went into the Hudson River? Yeah, an airplane just crashed into the Hudson River. Operator 139, where's your emergency?
A plane has just crashed into the Hudson River. Oh my gosh.
I was giddy with excitement. We're not dying today.
What nobody knows is that the impact caused a breach near the plane's tail. And that's not all. The Airbus is equipped with a system that seals all the aircraft's vents and outlets to stop it taking on water after ditching. The procedure calls for one of the pilots to press the ditch button above their head. But on Flight 1549,